So we got a lot of news to go over today, and remember I said I don't like to do news video, let's do a lot of news. But as you know, when the news and there's a bunch of it, I'll make one compilated video about it. So as you know, we hit the go for the skin quest. What that means is AJ acted to say congratulations, and that's where anyone preparing and savoring their meal for a bunch of questions to ask AJ, and we got a bunch of answers. So let's go over some of them. He said, I love a wider plush got announced, and then Mrs. P with less. He said, wider paid was always going to be attached to tape 3. It's set that took longer. That's how it played out. Now, this is very important. We're going to have a theory about this, of that line right there, of how it took longer. This is how it plays out, because of this. They said, AJ, is the next thing after Mousky Quest where or not you played it? It said the current goal order is tape 3, unannounced, Mousky Quest, and mystery game. So, my theory is this. Hear me out. Because he said that wider was always going to be attached to tape 3, my theory is after tape 3 is when we're going to get the wider mystery campaign. It's unannounced because there haven't been an official announcement for when it's going to be. So that makes sense. Now after that, we get the Mousky Quest, but honestly, I definitely believe by now it's going to probably be in March or February. I'll explain that later on. And then we get the mystery project, where I highly believe, knowing the release date with the new games and stuff like that, will probably be sometime in the summertime. I think that did make a lot of sense. Another piece of evidence is they say related to tape 3, and they say can't be announced until after tape 3. Like, it's in the detail. It's almost like AJ and more like saying it is the wider rally. Because it makes sense. Like, they only said, oh yeah, well, you know, it would go to be wider page because he only would connect to tape 3, right? And now they're like, okay, well, we can't announce it yet until after tape 3. And they made a go, which is after, I kid you not, tape 3 is the mystery unannounced thing. But not the mystery game. I meant the unannounced thing. So it makes perfect sense for it to be wider page as the plush. Also, it's kind of funny to go into what the skin quest hit is. You're going to love it. But that's why we're not even halfway through the video yet, and there's already a lot of good stuff that we got with wider page, and one of my favorite characters in the game. So no, I forgot if they're talking about wider page or not, but he said we'll get an image showing the skin like every other go, and he said probably not directly now. So I see this referring to the skin quest, but after the hit, it's pretty obvious who it's going to be. But I'll tell you that at the very end of the video, because you know I gotta want you guys to hear the news first to build it up. This is how far along the development of tape 3. It's going well. I expect development to turn up this month. This is why I heavily believe that tape 3 is going to be in February, and I have another piece of evidence to prove it too. Somebody asked, Eddie, do you think that the Mousky tape 3 wider plush could overlap Intercity release? And they said the goal is to release it before Intercity. And it takes no rocket scientist to remember that Intercity released in March, which is exactly 2 months from now. I shouldn't say 2 months from now, but 2 months. So it makes a lot of sense for all this to go on during February and in March, same for Intercity. But again, it could only be delayed, so it not only us. He also said too that they want to do stuff for quarter 1, which is January, February, March, and then I think April. So those are like the first 4 quarters of the month. I think it goes up by 3, so January, February, March. I don't know. I think that's quarter 1. So I feel like it makes the most amount of sense that is going to happen before Intercity. Which makes sense, because they don't want to overlap it, because that's just a bunch of competition. So, I mean, even though it's made by the same company and made by the same mini-tune overseer, but you get the point. A lot of people are going to be mixed about it, but I still want to quit it anyways. Will AJ get his deserved developer skin? He said, I don't need one. I like the skin Archer has added to the game. Honestly, if I think of developer skin, I feel like they're cool and all that, yes, but I kind of like, I don't really have any emotion for it. I feel like a lot of people make picky dudes like, oh yeah, new skin added to the game, and it's just a developer skin. Like, we don't need to hype it up. It's just a skin for one person that no one else is ever going to use. And also, I feel like the issue with developer skin, you don't really see them unless you actually know the developer. So unless they're from a new level, I'm never going to see the jump scare of that skin. So I feel like that's one common issue with developer skin, honestly. I suggested to Maintune, I think I suggested to Epic Take, that they should have developer skin just inside of build mode that you're able to have on the bot. So for people like me that can't actually see the jump scare or can't actually be there, we can have that and actually enjoy it. I'm not saying play as a developer skin, that ruined the rarity, but having it just as something that it could be a bot. So let's just say, like, Moopy's already in the game, so we don't need that. But let's just say I want Moopy and Mooney in the game, side by side together, it makes sense. So, also did the Q&A, so hopefully, me too can answer that on my Q&A. If not, I did the announcement, but, I'm on the announcement right now. I am doing a Q&A with Maytoon in June. Yes, that is right. I am doing a Q&A with Maytoon in June. I waited for June. A lot of people, like Maytoon99 in the group chat, were like, why would you do June and stuff like that? I mainly did it because of this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that coming out, so I wanted to have it in June where most of this stuff is already going to be out. Like Intercity going to be out, the Mouse Key Quest, that's going to be out, so we can have like a more clearer mind when asking these questions. Because I don't want all the questions to be about, oh, when is the future update going to happen? I want to have the question be about kind of like, the future updates, but at this point, I feel like June would be a perfect time to just ask that for the summertime. So when we either go back to school or throughout the summer, we got some cool updates for Piggy. So that's why I wanted to, do that. AJ said, if Water does end up getting a rally, it will include a skin quest, which, by the way, again, I'm not going to, tell you, but if you're on my Discord, you already know. But based off the hit, it's pretty obvious on why they're not getting a skin quest. Because I can't wait to find another skin. I mean, probably Mudsid, but I'll kind of go over that later on. But overall, I see why they will have it. I just hope that for this time, they're going to have maybe more, instead of skin quests, but maybe just, less skins, or just have both. Like, my suggestion, where you just have a mix of both, but just have a lot more events and abilities, because I feel like Piggy just gets, horrible trap. No offense to the last trap, but all it did was, have, a white, it was worse than the egg trap. And they didn't bother to buff it. They made it to nerf the ability, but they didn't even buff the trap. So hopefully we actually get better stuff on Piggy's side of things. So I feel like my concept about an energy generator is a perfect idea. So we'll have to see. But yeah. So a lot of people know that AJ will try to get a doggy character for the chapter and a Mr. P character for the chapter. I almost said Mrs. And instead, I know Manju said he was the only one who could get the green light for stuff, but would you be, okay with it? It just depends on how everything plays out. Right now, we have our hands full, so it's hard to say. Honestly, I have a theory that it's probably going to happen in the near future, probably, next year, or when everything's just done with. Because I can still imagine that Maytoon is still actually going to be relying on the team member to still tell the story that they want to tell. So, yeah. So it said, will there be more after Mystery? And this is probably quite a long way into the future. Honestly, my theory is that there's still going to be more, because the last statement was his hands are tied. So I can definitely imagine him saying, okay, well, there might not be any more for the game. But he said longer into the future, which makes me believe that the game will be like Piggy, where he gets active updates. That's my theory. I mean, Piggy Misfits are also not having all the chapters released at once. They're going to actually keep on improving the chapters. So I definitely have that theory that that's what the mystery product is going to be in the future. So the same person said, are there any animals in Pacific that interest you? They said the one that haven't been seen yet, I've been enjoying adding new animals into the world of Piggy. I have a theory about this, and I feel like my main theory about it is this is for Tape 3. Because AJ said a while ago that there are going to be over 100 characters into it. So I'm saying that maybe the animal you haven't seen in Piggy will be the one in Tape 3 in the courtroom. I still think that makes the most amount of sense, but we'll see. But we know Tape 3 is going to probably be done in February, so I'm excited. This is okay or bad news depending on you. They said, okay, will Water get any rewards? He said, I only answered this, I'm undecided. Because the last thing you heard about it is that they're not going to be a skin quest. So it's not confirmed that we're getting rewards for this makeshift campaign. I want people to know that. Not confirmed. But even if it was confirmed, we're not getting a skin quest for it, which I think is kind of for the best. We no hate to no hate to age or anything like that, but the skin quest, waiting for a very long time for a skin quest and then get delayed and then something like that, to kind of get emotionally exhausted for the players, honestly. The guy said, could you be this is the one that interests me the most. He said, could you be a nice gentleman and tell me, or respond to me about, can we get a torso leak of the skin? We already got a hit of the skin. I was playing that at the very end of the video. But I feel like how much it's described, you probably know what I'm talking about. But he said, not sure yet. Still being decided. This is your traditional skin. Which, that line right there is making me excited. Because I feel like when you say something like that, it's going to be something amazing and cool. Because I said it for a while now, and I will always say this. I love the new Piggy skins, but it's so, I miss the season skin. And the skin I don't have are, in my opinion, my favorite ones. We had Carver and Griffin out here reacting to every kill you get. And I miss those type of skins. And Nor was such a good skin because it switched between a TV and sold outside of a TV. And I miss those new piggy skins. I feel like all the new piggy skins now are just the regular jump scare and they don't do anything with it. Like, how cool is I love Jawbreaker. It's still my favorite skin in the game. But it would have been so cool if Jawbreaker, like, got, like, more spikes on his back. And I feel like the last 2 seasons, the final skin has been good design-wise, but it's not good in either the other season where every kill you got something or a girl say behind your back. I miss that. I hope that this might be the next best thing. This might be, like, hopefully this skin right here will be the pin ultimate thing. I'm sorry I want to rant, but I prayed that wouldn't be it. I hope the traditional skin will be, like, super duper cool or awesome. Okay, sorry I'm on a rant, but yeah. Also mad for some of you, but they said, so you all decided on a smart mouse key quest, and AJ said yes. So that's what tied into my next point. Where do we go get a special mechanism? And they said, no, not anymore. We're smart with a simpler mouse key quest approach in mind, and new concepts are already in place. They say the 8 key quests will still be in development, or they're ready. They said still in development, which obviously says still in development. But you guys confirmed that we're getting AJ and Pekka. Like, that confirmed it. I mean, it always would confirm what you saw in Who's, but, like, they more like just said still in development. They never said, oh, no, not AJ. So, it's really going to be AJ and Pekka. I think we already knew this, but still pretty cool regardless. Also, so it says, okay, so the mouse key is the Mrs. P size one, and this one is the side hustle, AJ said correct. So, yeah, this further proves that the mouse key quest is going to just be a small mouse key quest, which, again, I know people are mixed by it, but honestly, I feel like it's just about time. Because we waited 6 months, and I feel like at the end of the day, just adding this to this huge event just wouldn't work, honestly. No, and a lot of people are worried, okay, what about the 6 skins, right? Well, after you have a screenshot right here, that can help you guys out. I just simply asked, if you make it simpler, does that mean we will get 6 skins at AJ? And said the skin quest will still come, will just be repurposed. I mean, this other skin will still come. So yeah, so people that are like, oh no, we're not getting the skin. No, we're still getting the skin. It will just be repurposed. Which honestly, I'm okay with. So honestly, you know, I'm still okay with that. So there's still a lot more to go over, man. Crazy. I would say it's a wider campaign leaked into release. I don't think that's a huge deal. So that's why I say it will be a mini campaign. And he only mentioned many times it will be probably a mini campaign. So it makes sense if you don't see it as a huge deal. I said no pay coding today, but probably tomorrow. So, you know, I take to that talking about making the skin quest and giving us a teaser or something like that. But again, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you the teaser. Like, give it away, honestly. It's pretty easy to tell which it's going to be. But yeah. And he said, would R2R be adding, like, extra species of animals or only insect? He said, I think if it were, we will want some more lore/lore buddy to be attached to it rather than just these exist too. So I see that means probably we'll see, or just one more world building. Which makes sense. I'm okay with it. I feel like we're probably going to get a lot more animals. So I always have a year that will be for tapes 3. But yeah. There was said, will Pick 64 ever be added to the more game category? And this in May eventually. I definitely believe it might once the mystery comes out. Because AJ has said many times that, like, Pick 64 is just, like, pretty much a demo or a pilot to just show, like, the actual game. So the preparation. So it makes a lot more sense if that's how it's going to play out. Where they're just preparing, you know, to just, like, you know, do it for preparation. So once the game actually comes out, it makes more sense for it to be added to more games. They said, will the quest with them will movie one or liver and glitch keys according to Glitch Key? Yeah. AJ also said it's going to be harder than movie, but easier than Mrs. P. And there will be a lot more puzzles. And that will go to make it hard. So honestly, take that as you will. I think I already mentioned that a while back, but yes, man, we're not even halfway done. There's so much screenshot to go over. Another one where AJ asked about what animal you want. He said that this had to do with the campaign, and they said that was for something else, which that's why I believe it definitely for tape 3. They said, will we get any news on when the skin will release? By the way, they said in the month of January, but to say they're not locked in yet. But we have goals that will be announced when I'm confident enough. So sometime in January we did drop the that date. So we got like 3 more weekends before January. Della confirmed that Tape 3 would not be this month, so like they definitely said, probably February because they don't want to overlap with Inner City release date. And they talked about their possibility for making paid, and they mentioned why they paid later on. They said, yes, I have done some brainstorming. Then they also asked, oh, is it for, why you asking for the animal? They said, no, not for that, for something else. Which, again, further proved my point that probably going to be for Tape 3, where they're going to be overall hunting characters to maybe have those animals be the animal that we requested. Okay, after all of that, I think it's time to say with you everything that we know. Now, for the final, maybe potential Skin Quest reveal, it probably is Rider Page. Now, I say probably because while looking back, it kind of, I don't know how you interpret this. Let me know how you interpret this in the comments. Well, it shows a circle and a panda, so obviously Rider Page. However, though, when you go to what they actually replied to, it waited a couple eyebrows. Because they said, can you give us a hint as to when I get to give y'all $60 again? And the problem with that is, that seems to me, how I interpret that, is not as a Skin Quest confirmation, but what is the next plushie. But also, though, people are arguing that, like, no, not for that, it could be for this. AJ did say that he might post a teaser tomorrow. Hopefully, he's considering it and not just a traditional skin. But I pray that Rider Page, they give me Rider Page, man. I will love it on the skin. If not, I wouldn't be upset. And AJ did say the skin, like the Skin Quest, is something that you saw ahead of time. Like the Skin Quest is pretty much something that was teased a while ago. So it could definitely be Rider Page, but it could also be a whole different skin in Zell. It could be Mudson. I feel like Mudson will also make a lot of sense too. Because we never got, like, Mudson was teased a while back, and we know it's associated with Mr. P. So, kind of like, we want to also try that, too. So, I don't know. That's the end for the video. Please like and subscribe. And if you made it this far, comment, Hollow Break eating popcorn. Yes, Hollow Break eating popcorn. That's what I want to be comment. I will be going live while the video is uploading. So, if I'm already live, the video upload, you probably clicked on my live to see it, or either the video I upload, I'm going to live soon. So, that's all I have to say. But, man, I don't even know what I'm going to do for Friday. I mean, it really depends. Because I have a video idea, but it really depends about someone. I don't want to say too much, but it's if one person does something, that will be the video. But if the person still haven't got it done yet, it won't be the video. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Peace.